Why should you want to become or be authentic? I can give you a very easy answer. Authenticity gives you more happiness. And I can explain also why that is, but I will do that in other videos. For now, it is important that you know that when you want to become more happy, want to feel more fulfilled, want to feel more joy, it is smart to invest to become more authentic. In this way of thinking, it is also important that we look at the definition of authenticity, because a lot of people have a different definition than I use, and because of that different definition, they are not following the path to authenticity because they have a different idea. And because they have a different idea, they do the steps to follow their own definition of authenticity, but in life don't change. And why it don't change? Because they are not really changing the things you need to change to become more authentic. Authenticity does not mean that you are just yourself. A lot of people believe that. I'm just myself and that means I'm authentic. I just react on you with my anger and that's being authentic. Or I just do what I feel to do and that's authentic. Really, that's not authenticity. That is just following your habits. And please remember, following your habits is the opposite of being authentic. Following your habits, authentic. Yeah? So what's not authentic, what's not authenticity is following your habits. What can you do? You can follow your authentic self, your true self. And your true self, that is all about authentic. And authenticity. It means that we are not our true self. We're not genuine. Often we act. We wear a mask. We act. And from the mask we are wearing and from the acting we are doing, we are not showing our true real self. We are showing a performance. We perform. For sure you remember that. You go to a party or you have dinner with a friend or you go to a restaurant or whatever, and in that conversation you don't feel so comfortable, but you think, oh, I have good reason to adjust myself, and I just adjust myself and I do what is expected, and after a few hours it will be over. I know this very much myself because I can tell you a lot of moments I acted like this. No, but that is not authenticity, that is acting, and that's often reacting. There's a situation, you react. No, and that is not authenticity. Authenticity is acting according to your true self, who you really are. And to be honest, we have learned not to follow our true self anymore. We follow our habits. My habits is this fist, my authentic self is this fist, and what happened is that we are run our life by this habit self, not authentic self. In my books I call it the acquired self, the person you become acquired, the adapted self. It's this one. And why we're not getting happy, because the habits we created in our life are not always the habits, and very often not at all, the habits we really helping us to create a good life. A lot of our habits are becoming our habits in periods we don't feel so good, and we needed to survive, we needed to adapt in a certain situation. Then you adapt for a few weeks, and after a few weeks you make that your new habit. It's the way you can survive. You understand? Makes sense, right? That's your habits, my left fist. And that left fist takes it over. You react in a situation, not on the way you will like it, not in the way you want it, but you have learned that way. And remember, action is always giving you your reality. So your actions create your reality. Just by acting from your authentic self, you create a good reality. But when we are not authentic, we act from our acquired self, from our habit self, and then often we create realities we don't like at all. And the realities we create are mirrors for us to think we can change our life. In another video I will explain more about that. For now it's important to know that your reality is more a mirror for you than that you have to react on your reality. And that's not what this is all about. What this is all about is that we should act according to our authentic self, and that the reflections we see every day, our reality we see every day, we use for growing to become our true self. The whole video is about becoming your true self, becoming authentic, because that gives you much better pleasure. And I think it's good to talk a little bit about that, and then I talk a few sentences how you can make that switch. Because all my videos are in a way about this switch, the switch from your left brain to your right brain, or from your left fist to your right fist. Suppose you're more connected with who you are, and that you're more authentic and you act, then it is so good in one vibration that the reality which you want to create will create much more easy. It is like an orchestra where the violin and the cello and the clarinet and all the other instruments work very good together, and they give a very harmonious piece of music. We are also energy, and we are energy, and energy is in a way also sound. In a way, we can compare it with this orchestra. And the moment we are in completely balanced, because our inner violin and our inner cello and our inner clarinet and our inner hobo and our inner pauk and everything will work so well together that there is one dynamic sound. And that dynamic sound will create that reality you're really looking for. And have a reality which makes you very happy. And that reality is what we are looking for, and what you can create, becoming more and more and more your authentic self. And that authentic self is who you truly are. Just that is not following your habits, but who you truly are. And that is the real sound of yourself. But to get there, to go from your left fist to your right fist, is not a cognitive process, it's not a thinking process, it's a heart process. You can only feel who you are, you cannot think who you are. But we have learned to think who we are. If I ask you who are you, you will give me an answer. And that answer has a lot to do with who you think who you are. It has not so much to do with something else, like that you feel I am this or that, but you will tell you how I am. And then you will give some rational explanation who you are. And not so much a feeling explanation. And it's also quite difficult, because we also don't learn the language to share what we really feel. But what I feel, for me myself as an example, what I feel, I can feel that I really feel very connected with myself. And when I feel connected with myself, I really feel that I'm a teacher, but I'm a very rational teacher, not so spiritual teacher, but I teach spirituality. And that's also what I feel. And that's what I try to explain to you, that when you go to your right fist, to your authentic self, you will much more connected with describing feelings in words and in images, but that are feelings. Not so much that we have to understand it, but we have to feel it. The words express more feelings than that they express the reality. What the whole job is to become more authentic, is to learn to make that switch from your left fist, from your left brain in a way, to your right fist, to your right brain. And basically it is going from brain leading to consciousness leading. Your brain leads you or your consciousness leads you. And authenticity and authentic people, what happened? They will be followed by their consciousness. Dus the consciousness is their leader, is their guide. And consciousness comes to you with experiences, with the images I said, with the reflections you have a kind of reflection, and that reflection gives you idea what you need to do. And the consciousness is that reflection and your experience of that reflection, and that you use then your brain knowing this is what I have to do. What we normally do, we don't use our right brain, we use only our left brain. And that left brain is just a big group of habits and emotions who work together just to keep you survive. Make sense? That's what's happening. Then you don't follow your heart, you just follow your habits, and habits create your life. That's not the idea. The conscious creator, to have a life which is really happy, is always doing it from the fact of that you follow your right brain, that you follow your consciousness, and your consciousness leads you to the other aspects. I will end this teaching. The basic of this teaching is follow your heart and not your brain. And if you don't do that yet, try to learn the switch. Because following your heart is being authentic, and following your brain, which is following your emotions and habits, is that you follow your acquired self, and then you don't create that beautiful life what really is there for you. Good luck with practice, and I wish I see you in a next video. And if you like it, please follow me on YouTube and like this video. Thank you very much.